where the rubber always meets the road, I think. Actually, I'm not even sure what that means.
Heartland Newsfeed Radio Network, live at heartlandnewsfeed.com.
Hey, good Wednesday to you, Illinois. Thanks for joining us for this adventure in broadcasting on the 6th of February. Glad to be back glad to be yesterday in Springfield at Illinois Soy Summit, and we'll have a little audio from that in a little bit, a visit with Chris Ehler, who is Soybean Association's first Master Soy Advisor. We talked to him. He's well known as an early planting guy. We'll talk about that and many other things as well. But Ill Soy Advisors Soy Summit, a very good event and very well attended. More than 300 were pre-registered and more than 50 came as walk-ins, and there's a lot of good information that we'll share as we go along, part here and some on RFD Illinois as well. Todd Lowry is in studio, Illinois Ag Leadership. We'll talk to him in just a little bit. Also, then Chris Ehler, and then Tom Bueller, who at one time was chairman for Rock Island County Farm Bureau and is a farmer in South Rock Island County, was the only farmer that we know of who attended the State of the Union last night at the invitation of his Congresswoman Sherry Bustos in 17th District. We'll just talk about the whole deal. And by being with Representative Bustos, and he got to go to Senator Durbin's reception and a couple other places, and he says the first thing people, when he learned it was a farmer, the first question was, so what are tariffs doing to you? So he was able to share the message. Also, a little bit from Illinois PAS, Professional College Organization, all to come on today's RFD Today.
Hey, Noah. How was school today?
It was really fun. Our class had a field trip to Ethan's family's pig farm.
Did you learn anything interesting?
Yeah. When a pig gets a cold, his dad called a pig doctor and gives him medicine just like you give me when I'm sick.
It sounds like you learned a lot from Ethan's dad.
Yep, he told us healthy pigs are happy pigs.
Find out more about Illinois pig farmers at watchusgrow.org. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where it's all about farm, family, and food.
If you're in the mood for some sprucing up, you're in luck. From big to small or farm to front yard, your Illinois Farm Bureau member discount from John Deere is ready and waiting to help. It's easy to think green when it's the Rewards loyalty program with savings on equipment, special parts, and home and workshop products. Whether your tasks involve mowing, planting, or cleaning, you'll be set for whatever your work requires. All you need to do is sign up, have your membership number handy, and go to johndeere.com/Farm Bureau.
When it comes to our members, Chris Magnuson connects rural routes for you. Chris leads Illinois Farm Bureau's efforts to provide valuable information to our members. He has spent 2 decades with IFB. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I grew up on a farm with corn, soybeans, and Christmas trees. I've been in ag communication for 3 decades now. My greatest satisfaction has always remained the same, to serve our members.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Welcome back to RFD Today on a Wednesday. I'm DeLoss Yankee, and certainly hope that our folks central and north are doing okay today after yesterday's and overnight's precipitation events. Right. And hearing different things about ice storms and such. Not good. So no. We missed it here. But a lot of folks got in on whether that's a tenth of an inch or any time you can measure the amount of ice, that's not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Todd Lowry is here at Illinois Ag Leadership Foundation. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, I just had a conversation before I came on here back at the office. Our president, CEO Lee Strom, up there near
King County area.
County area, and they said they had a pretty good coating last night. And I had another gentleman who's on our alumni, and he said, yeah, it's pretty clear the main roads weren't bad, but they got some pretty good ice. We just missed out on. So
right. Trees and power lines and just everything's at play in that case. You have a radio background.
Yes.
Do you ever do the school cancellations and all that sort of thing?
Oh, I remember those days when you would ask people. This was before we had the school alerts and everything else.
Yeah.
And you specifically, go through a whole mantra of, we'd like to keep the phone lines open. We're going to circle back around with school closings. If you just keep those phone lines open, we'll get it for you. Let's go to the phones. Are the schools closed? Yeah, there you go. So, I remember those joys, but there you go. Nick's laughing at that right now. He's been there, done that. So,
well, and it gets to the point where it'd be faster to just say what's open as opposed to what's closed.
To a point, yes.
Growing up, we had calling trees.
Oh, okay.
So the school called a certain number of people, and then those people had a list to call, and that's how the word got out.
Yeah, there you go.
But and then we also had party line. So that shows you, that gives you a little indication of age range here. All right. Hey, before planting, then, this is a busy time for the group, for the Ag Leadership Foundation.
Well, it's a busy time for meetings, and we are no exception. We start hitting it pretty hard with the ILF, and we start that in late November, and we will go until middle of March, a series of seminars. We just completed our Rich Ryan Economics in the Marketplace seminar up in Chicago, which was really just a great experience. I went to the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago the first day. David Oppedahl, who's a senior economist there, also Rick Mattoon, who gave a very interesting talk on the state budget and Illinois pension situation.
Oh, yeah.
And also we had a chance that evening to go to the Chicago Council on Global Affairs, which is another leadership program. They're emerging leaders. And we had a nice conversation, broke into groups. Those people don't have a big ag background, obviously, but it was a chance for those that are in agriculture with our fellows and those that are not with their emerging leaders to really get some ideas on trade, sustainability, and basically how to feed the world. And that was very, very good. We also went over Chicago Booth, University of Chicago, the Booth School of Business, heard from their economics professors, economic trends, trade, how the markets affect our daily lives in ways that we don't even think about. We also had a very unique opportunity to go to the Becker-Friedman Museum there on the campus and heard from Lars Hansen, who won the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2013, which was a very unique opportunity. And then we finished it off with a trip to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and also Lakefront Futures and Options hosted us down the block, and we were able to hear from them what they do on a daily basis, and also get a look at the CBOT floor, which the pits keep getting smaller.
Let's say, what does that even look like?
Bare.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I can remember when I was working for Congressman Ewing, we'd go down there in 93 or 94, and it was just
bedlam.
Oh, yeah, it was absolute bedlam. I believe there's at least a couple of floors in the CBOT, and the two other floors are completely shut down, and the one floor that is operating is maybe operating at 20%.
One of the things I remember also from around that time, first time I went, was you get into some of the financial markets and you see these guys who aren't even 30 years old yet,
right,
losing their hair in bunches because the stress on them day after day.
I tell you what, though, when we would talk to, and we did this with the last class, those have moved on. It showed how much technology has changed that platform. But to a person, when you ask them, even though they've moved on and they're doing the electronic side, looking at a screen, do you miss it? Before you even finish the question, they go, every day.
Wow.
They miss they miss the action. They miss the whole feeling of it. Every former floor trader that has moved on to an electronic platform that I've talked to is just like, we miss it. We miss it every day. But they realize at the same time it opens the markets up to those that wouldn't have access to them. Right. And they acknowledge that.
Right.
They understand that. And it is more efficient. But, it might be like if we go to completely autonomous tractors and combines, is it more efficient? Yes. But you may have some guy, I miss, being able to just drive down and run the machinery myself. But, no, it was a very good seminar. Richard Ryan endowed that seminar, and we are so thankful for his help. He has strong ties with the Booth School of Business, and we couldn't have done it without him. And we dodged the storm once again, the cold, I should say.
Yeah.
But we get one done, and we're already getting ready to head back down to the U of I for the Kim Morton National Ag Policy Seminar. This is a prequel, if you will, or a preparedness to go to Washington, D.C., which we'll be doing March 10th through the 16th, and not only D.C., but also Gettysburg.
Right.
And not just from a historical standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. And with the government shutdown, we're kind of really amping up the scheduling as things were kind of hard to reach out to some people in some of those agencies, but they've opened up at least for the time being. So we're trying to make hay as best we can as we move forward, but we're moving along. But we've got that will pretty much round out this stretch of seminars that we have, because of course we'll be going into late March, and of course harvest work and those that are working in agribusiness, supporting the efforts of ag kicking off the 2019 growing season. So we are really trying to get the most value for information for our fellows. They've been doing a great job. It's been really rewarding to see them get acclimated into the program and how they can, the takeaways that they're getting from the speakers and from some of the alumni that they are interacting with.
Todd Lowry at Illinois Ag Leadership, online at agleadership.org. And we will discuss more things in just a couple of minutes. On a Wednesday, RFD Today, later in the program, Tom Mueller from Rock Island County, who was in person in D.C. at last night's State of the Union address. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Dina Stroish connects rural routes for you. From the Farm Bill to crop insurance to GMO labeling, her expertise is apparent in the stories she reports. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I get to meet interesting people and share their stories, and I get paid to do it. I cover ag policy and really enjoy keeping the farming community updated on these important issues.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
The USDA, National Agricultural Statistics Service, or NASS, recently mailed a survey to Illinois farmers that gives your farm a voice. You can help provide important data that will shape the future of nutrient loss and conservation in Illinois. Look for your NASS survey in the mail in early February. If you receive the survey, take a few minutes and complete it, and return it in the prepaid envelope. Together, we are making a difference in Illinois water quality. Visit ilfb.org/NLRS for more information.
Leading your family farm is what you know best. Paying bills, making marketing decisions, and leaving the farm better for the next generation. Farm Bureau needs you to lead our organization and champion our legislative priorities. Farmers will be working with a new governor, Congress, and General Assembly. Illinois agriculture only remains strong when farmers realize this power and continue taking charge of change. Join us for the 2019 Governmental Affairs Leadership Conference. This one-day event takes place February 19th at the President Abraham Lincoln Hotel in Springfield. Hear from keynote speaker Jesse Waters, co-host of The Five and host of Fox News program Waters World. Don't miss this opportunity to cover policy information, state and national legislative updates, and end with a legislative reception with members of the Illinois General Assembly. Register today and start taking charge of change. Contact your county farm bureau or visit ilfb.org/GALC for more information.
It can begin with an email, a phone call, a flyer in the mail, or perhaps a misleading website. Loan modification scams. They come in all shapes and sizes and under different names. Loan rescue firms, counseling services, mortgage consultants, sometimes posing as a legitimate mortgage company willing to help you modify your loan and get caught up with your payments. But beware, these are highly trained con artists looking to steal your home. They often know who you are, where you live, and because it's public record, know if you are on the brink of foreclosure. You're not alone, however. The National Crime Prevention Council and U.S. Department of Justice have partnered to help homeowners identify and steer clear of these scam artists.
McGruff the Crime Dog here. Protect your home and safeguard your finances. It only takes a little time to become informed. Start by finding a free legitimate housing counselor today.
Take the first step. Visit www.ncpc.org/mortgage-fraud. That's ncpc.org/mortgage-fraud. This message is from the National Crime Prevention Council and U.S. Department of Justice.
Welcome back to RFD Today. I'm DeLoss Yonke on a Wednesday in studio. Todd Lowry, Illinois Ag Leadership Foundation, online at agleadership.org. So Champaign next week, right?
Yeah, U of I at the College of Aces. And we've even got some representation from the Illinois Farm Bureau. Adam Nielsen. Mr. Nielsen is going to be joining us on a panel on ag issues. And also Ag and the APA panel is Lindsay Ramsey.
Nice.
She's going to be joining us as well on the second day. And we're getting geared up. Like I said, this is a great preparedness for our National Study Seminar in D.C. We're also having an alumni event. We're going over to the Neighbor House. They've just, for those of you that are Neighbor House alumni, that's a new, relatively new house that they built there. I remember growing up in Urbana seeing the old one. I had a chance to drive by it recently, and I'm like, wow, that's really impressive. So we're going to have the class over there as well, and looking forward to that. So, when we talk about this class, it's hard to believe that we're gearing up for the next one.
Yeah.
And I would want to mention that we have opened up applications for the class of 2022.
2022. How about that?
That I feel incredibly old when I say that.
Yeah. But talk to your employers, talk to your family.
It's I don't want to make it sound like it's like you're launching a shuttle.
Right.
But at the same time, it is a process that takes some time. A process that you've got to resume and, like I said, work with your employers, work with your spouses. We want everybody on board because this is a time commitment.
Yeah.
And we want you as a fellow to get the most out of this program. So yes, like you said, just go to our website. And you'll see it right there on the front page.
Yeah.
As far as
you're going to D.C., you're going to all places around Illinois, and then the international trip is. You're not going to tell me where it is.
I am not going to tell. Well, you know what? Here's the deal, DeLoss. I could tell you if I knew.
Okay.
That is, and if I swear we have not decided yet.
When you take a group of 30-ish to D.C., and so they all have. Now, they don't all have, but they're represented throughout the state.
Right.
So they might be able to carve some time with their legislator, but that's not your deals. But you could take them to agencies, or you could take them to different parts of Washington.
And that's we have one day where we're going to be on the Hill meeting with legislators.
Okay.
And once again, we are not an advocacy group. We are a leadership group. So we're not going to be up there lobbying for anything. That's not what we do. We create leaders that can move on to do that. But we are going to be visiting several agencies. Farm Credit Administration, of course, our president and CEO, Lee Strom, was part of that. USDA. Also, we're going to try and some embassy visits as well. So we're going to try, and when you put it together in D.C., the real challenge is getting a group of 30 with staff, 32 people, so we get the most out of it.
Sure.
So we're not spending half of our day going from one end of D.C., from DuPont Circle, all the way down to this other side, and make it work. And putting those pieces of that puzzle together are often challenging, but we're moving along.
And then the added challenge of no one there to answer the phone for more than a month.
Right.
When you're trying to finalize details.
Yeah, well, and we did run into that a little bit. I think a lot of people did. And we were not alone in that, but you do what you can, and we're, as I said, we're those calls are now being made, and we're just trying to get it done before we have another deadline in 8 days, I believe, if my calendar is serving me correctly. So we'll just see what transpires, but. Like I said, next week, Wednesday through Friday, and Kim Morton, who is an alum of our program, serves on our board of directors, has endowed that seminar, and we're very thankful to Kim for that, and we're looking forward to a great seminar.
Looks like there are a couple of seminars that could still be endowed. Just throwing it out there. Many of them are.
As in?
Well, like the communications one, business communications and media, for example. Like many of them have names with them. Ron Warfield's name is on one of them. It looks like there's still a couple openings if someone.
Well, and we're always looking for support as far as endowment of seminars, and of course you can always reach out to us as well. But it's a case where absolutely we're always looking for those opportunities.
Sure. It was interesting with the State of the Union last night, and one thought about leadership.
Yes.
5 different people could have taken that speech and read it 5 different ways, and it would have been then perceived 5 different ways.
Sure.
That's part of the deal. Is not just thinking of that sort of stuff, but also how do you present that sort of stuff.
Especially with our communications, our seminar that'll be coming up this summer, it's how to, do what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have incredibly knowledgeable people in agriculture, but how you convey that message is very important. It's kind of like a rhinoceros. You know what it looks like, but it's hard to explain. And you've got to be careful, and you've got to know how to have people follow what you're saying and understand what you're saying. Have things you're saying not be misrepresented. It's tough, and you yourself and Nick both work in this industry, and you know how that can be.
I'm so totally stealing that. It's like a rhinoceros. You know what it looks like, but it's hard to explain. He was retired. Lloyd Watkins was the retired president of Illinois State University, and he was still teaching a class, and he taught a communications class, and that was one of his favorite sayings. That's really good.
So that's where I got that one from. I'll give Dr. Watson a little bit of credit there.
All right. Hey, start thinking about then the class of 2022 and learn more. You can also learn about the current class and what they're doing. That'll also give you an idea of the commitment involved, but go to agleadership.org.
There you go.
Learn more. Thanks, Todd.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Stay tuned. We'll have more to come on a Wednesday, RFD Today.
More farm news and information ahead. Stay tuned for more RFD Today here on the Illinois Farm Bureau Radio Network.
RFD Radio Network's Rita Frazier connects rural routes for you. Rita delivers passion and reliable information to listeners on the RFD Radio Network. Her radio career spans close to 3 decades. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I grew up on a small farm. My job today allows me to connect with people from all walks of life and experience opportunity every day. I get to talk about what I love, farming.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Attention corn farmers. Your corn checkoff dollars are working with the U.S. Meat Export Federation to grow red meat export volumes. Because when we're exporting beef, we're also exporting corn. The beef industry consumes 28% of all corn fed to livestock, plus additional corn in the form of DDGs, a co-product of ethanol production. Now that's what we call working an angle. Your checkoff is working corn from all angles. Because of the Illinois Corn Marketing Board, your profitability is our bottom line. A message from the Illinois Corn Checkoff.
All ag.
All Illinois.
All now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
We know you want the best for your family. We do too. That's why Illinois farmers continually look for new ways to help. We're working with Mother Nature to preserve water, protect land, and provide food. From our fields to your table, we want what's best for all of us and for future generations to come. Learn more about conservation efforts at ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
Remember that movie National Lampoon's Vacation? Well, Clark Griswold has nothing on me. Give me the open road in my Illinois Farm Bureau membership card, and I am the ultimate road warrior. Like last summer, I drove the family to Williamsburg at a fraction of the cost. Once I hit the road, I don't stop for much, so I used my membership to rent a minivan from Enterprise. The kids got more bouncing room, and I saved 5%. Then I used my Illinois Farm Bureau membership to save 20% on choice hotels from here all the way to the East Coast. On the way back, we stopped and saved at our favorite theme park, too. I was hoping it would wear out the kids and they'd sleep. Good thing I got that minivan for bouncing, though. No matter how unique my travel needs are, I know that my membership can help. Illinois Farm Bureau. It's membership for my lifestyle.
Isn't it time you learned how Illinois Farm Bureau member-only discounts fit into your lifestyle? Call your county farm bureau or visit ilfb.org for details.
few questions at the end of Illinois Soybean Summit from illsoyadvisor.com with Chris Ehler, who was the original Master Soy Advisor a couple of years ago from north central, if you will, Champaign County. So here we are, first full week of February, so right around planting time, right? Just a couple of weeks away?
Oh, yeah, just days away, as soon as it warms up and dries out. No, I'd love to see an opportunity of really early planting trial again. You know, last year the window of opportunity was very narrow in the end of March and took advantage of it and actually got what I wanted for weather to follow, which was really terrible weather. And, you know, that seed laid in the ground for almost 50 days, but still was able to germinate and still had a salvageable stand and actually a pretty decent yield as well. They were in the mid-70s.
Wow. How, or is it as you train yourself over time to plant it and walk away from it, knowing it's not going to come up a week later? But however, you know, when do you go back and look at it just to even see what you have?
So this will be my 11th year of doing early planting trials, and I will say that probably the first 4 or 5 years I babysat those fields and every day would go out there and look and wait and impatiently wait. And, you know, the first year I walked away after about 2 weeks, and it was after the third week that they actually emerged. And from there, I thought, wow, well, I'm kind of on to something. And now it's to the point where I just plant it and I walk away, and I'm not even worried about what comes up because I'm confident that it will come up, and whatever comes up typically is going to be a salvageable stand. And what I consider a crop failure is anything below the county average. So we're looking for Champaign County somewhere around 65, and I've been able to beat that by 5 to 10 bushel, even under adverse conditions.
You asked a couple of farmers what their goals were. When you're doing corn, we need to have a yield goal so we know how much nitrogen to put on. Does a goal tell us anything for soybeans at all other than just, you know, what I'd like to hit?
I think still realistically when it comes to fertility, and I think growers have rethought how they deal with fertility in soybeans, where they're actually managing that crop with a specific fertility application. So, yes, we do need a number set to soybeans so we can manage that fertility as well.
Does it help to be independent, by the way, to do this kind of early stuff? Like if you were wearing somebody's seed logo on there, would they say, no, you can't go out there and do this now?
It probably does help. And again, I don't advocate on large-scale acres the ultra-early planting trials that I do. I do that just for grower confidence. If a window of opportunity opens itself up in early April where they're not confident to put corn out there, because corn and soybeans are completely different, especially when it comes to soil temperatures. So, yes.
I was asking a question at the summit about, you know, late Easter. I was talking to farmers about that Easter's not going to be until the 21st. Well, that's 2 months to solstice. That's 2 months to end of spring, early summer. So that's probably the more important date than anything else now, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think when we look at soybeans, and it's all about harvesting sunlight. So the earlier that plant can get out of the ground and start to capture sunlight, you know, a lot of growers get fixated and focused on that June 21st summer solstice date. Again, I think a target would be for soybean flowering somewhere in the first week of June. I think that's a more realistic goal. And if you can get that, then I think you've got a really good chance of optimal yields.
Now, depending on how early you go, can you start clean, stay clean, or is that something that would get sacrificed by going in even in the middle of March?
There's challenges that come with early soybean, really early soybean planting, but you know, with a lot of the residuals, you have the ability to go over the top in a, you know, not a pre-plant application, but a, you know, a post-applied residual type situation. So you've got to do your post-application earlier with a residual. And the nice part of it is you're probably going to get a little bit quicker canopy, and you're going to get more out of that residual as far as the residual time by doing a later application.
If we didn't get any winter annuals killed at all, do we need to do anything beforehand, though?
It's going to be scary.
Yeah.
If we don't get a nice dry stretch to try and get some things cleaned up early, I think we're headed towards some pretty tough spring planting conditions, just on the weed side.
Yeah. Other than early planting, I've heard you say before, those bushels are out there, just go ahead and grab them.
So other than that, what's another thing that a farmer could consider for 2019 growing season?
I'll throw two things out there. One is on seed treatments. Maximize your seed real estate. Make sure you're putting on a seed treatment that will take care of any possible yield-robbing diseases or insects or nematodes. Those are tools that are in the toolbox. The other thing is what we saw for fungicide, insecticide at R2, R3 in 2018. There was 6 to 12 bushels that were hanging out there, and that's big. Those are big return on investment dollars.
By the way, last question. Someone would say, well, sure, the guys in Champaign County, you just spill seed and away you go. But I assume what you're talking about is much beyond that territory.
Absolutely. I think statewide there was a lot of success with early planting, with fungicide and insecticide applications. And again, I think the insecticide piece this year played a huge factor in that 6 to 12 bushel gain based off of the Japanese beetle pressure, the stink bug pressure, cabbage looper, bean leaf beetles. So we were just combated with insects in 18, and somewhat of a pretty mild winter so far. So I don't see those numbers going down.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Chris Ehler, saw him yesterday at Il Soy Advisors Soy Summit. Hey, looking to buy or sell? Check out the latest Farm Week classified advertisements. If you'd like to place an ad, then you should call 800-573-6120 or submit online at farmweeknow.com. When we come back, Tom Mueller from Rock Island County, who witnessed in person last night's State of the Union address on RFD today.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Kay Shipman connects rural routes for you. For 3 decades, Kay has delivered important news. She covers everything from legislative issues to the latest in soil and water conservation. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I love covering so many aspects of agriculture and providing readers with the facts they need to make better decisions. I also get to work with farmers and meet new people along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com and Farm Week keep you connected.
If you're in the mood for some sprucing up, you're in luck. From big to small or farm to front yard, your Illinois Farm Bureau member discount from John Deere is ready and waiting to help. It's easy to think green when it's the Rewards Loyalty Program with savings on equipment, special parts, and home and workshop products. Whether your tasks involve mowing, planting, or cleaning, you'll be set for whatever your work requires. All you need to do is sign up, have your membership number handy, and go to johndeere.com/Farm Bureau.
Let's check the markets on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Down a penny for corn and soybeans, up a penny for wheat at the moment. March corn down 1.5, 3.79 1/4. May down 1.5, 3.87 1/2. December down $1, $4 2.5 At the moment, the trading ranges for corn aren't even 2 cents. That's how quiet we've been so far. March soybeans down 1 1/4, 9.19. May down 1 1/4, 9.33. November down a fraction, 9.60 1/4. Trading range for soybeans is only 3 cents, a little more than 3. So very quiet in Chicago. While March wheat's up 1.5, 5.28 3/4. July up 1 3/4, 5.32 1/2. Livestock, April hogs down 57. 61 2 cents. April cattle down 32, 127.30. It's the RFD Radio Network. All right, we are visiting now with Tom Mueller, Rock Island County Farm Bureau member, a former board chairman in the county who's in D.C., having watched the State of the Union address in person at the invitation of his representative, 17th District Congresswoman Sherry Bustos. Tom, how are you? How's everything going?
Very good. It was quite an experience last night.
How does that even come about? Do you get a phone call? How do you get such an invitation?
My Congresswoman Bustos called me up and said that she likes to invite people to be her guest at the State of the Union, people that are being affected by some of the actions that the government is taking. And she said she immediately thought of farmers being affected, and so she thought of me and gave me a call.
Well, and you probably recognize her voice, because maybe if it was a staffer, you might have thought it could be a practical joke or something, but you probably knew it was her all along.
Yeah, no, I knew it was her. I had gotten a call previously from a staffer saying that I would get the call from the congresswoman.
Okay. Now, from what I understand, I don't know if you could quantify this, but I think you were the only farmer who was invited to go, amongst all the elected officials.
I understand that's correct. I was the only farmer in the gallery.
Wow. Now, how much time do you actually get with the congressman then? Because surely she has plenty to do, and she has her own seat and all that, but were you able to spend some time with her, I assume, yesterday then?
Yes, yeah. We were able to meet her for lunch yesterday and went over to the congressional dining room and had lunch with her and got to visit during that time, and then went back to her office for some more conversation, and she had a couple of meetings she had to go to in the afternoon, and that gave me a break, and then I got back over to her office about 4:30, and then we proceeded to go to Senator Durbin's office for a reception that he was having there, and then we went back to Congressman Bustos' office and did a conference call with the press, and then we headed to Speaker Pelosi's office for a reception there before, and then went right from there to the gallery.
Now,
I got to spend quite a bit of time with the congressman yesterday.
Yeah.
So it was good.
So you got to talk surely about trade, but I'm sure you talked about other issues as well to get some points across.
Yeah, we talked a lot about trade and the tariffs, about how, we need to keep it up with renewable fuels. Also talked about, improving our infrastructure and what can be done with moving ahead with improving the locks and dams.
Absolutely, especially for someone in Rock Island County. That's certainly an issue that's top of mind. Now, even though you are an invited guest, were there lengthy lines? What was it like just being able to get into the room to be able to watch?
Yeah, there was very tight security to go through to get into the gallery. It was suggested to us beforehand. They said, empty your pockets. All you'll need is an ID and your ticket to get in. Don't bring anything else. Leave your cell phone back at the hotel room because you aren't going to be able to take that in with you. And so, yeah, it was very tight security. I don't know if I've ever seen that many policemen.
Farmer's always got a pocket knife he's carrying around, too, so hopefully you got that out of there.
Yeah, no, I had to leave that.
Now, were you sitting by other Illinoisans, or was it just you sat wherever the seat was?
Yeah, in fact, I sat next to a gentleman from Arizona in the gallery. So, yeah, I think people were just scattered all over.
Yeah. What is it like? Well, first of all, just what was the feeling to be in the room as it's taking place? That feeling of, oh, my gosh, I'm in in this room. It had to be a pretty amazing feeling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're in the room, and this is where the U.S. government is at right now. All of the congressmen, all of the senators, the president, the cabinet members, the chiefs of staff, the Supreme Court, this is the U.S. government right there.
Yeah, that's a really neat feeling. I remember when the president came to Nashville for the 99th, I just remember, wow, I'm in the room with the president. And then multiply that by all the other elected officials that are there. That's pretty neat. Now another question is, what's it like to be in the room when half or maybe a little fewer than half, right around then are applauding and making noise, and the other half are, arms crossed?
That was very obvious at different points during the speech that it seemed like the Republican side, I've heard it referred to as they were being jack-in-the-boxes, standing up and sitting down so many times. But and there were times when over on the other side of the aisle they just sat there. So I guess that's part of the politics.
Yeah. I feel like it would be kind of awkward to watch. Wow, you can certainly see where the division is, but that's you certainly see that regardless of who's giving that address. So it sounds like really good experience, and also a good time personally to be there, and also to get a couple of important ag issues brought to D.C.
Yes, at the various receptions that with Senator Durbin and with Speaker Pelosi, why I got to meet a lot of other congressmen that Congresswoman Bustos introduced me to, and she would introduce me as her guest, and said that I was a farmer. And the first thing that they would ask me is, how are the tariffs affecting you?
Well,
they were all very concerned about that.
Yeah. I assume you gave them a pretty straightforward answer on that.
Yes. The tariffs are a real problem, and we want to get things settled and get to some free trade as soon as we can.
Now, have you been in conversation with home today or last night? How's everything going? Did you have ice back home?
I have not been in conversation. I guess from my aspect, no news is good news.
Yeah.
So apparently everything's going all right.
Right. And then from here, not Columbia, Missouri, or South Carolina, but you're headed overseas for a little while.
Yes. Yeah, we have our U.S. Grains Council meeting down in Cartagena, Colombia. And so that's Colombia is quite a trade partner with the U.S. and also we find that sometimes going out of the United States to a place is less expensive for all of both the foreign office staffs to fly into there than it is to the U.S.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Tom, thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations on memories for the rest of your life, and hopefully we'll see you down the road then.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Tom Mueller, he got to sit front row in the balcony to watch that. He was able to see just about everything as it commenced last night during the State of the Union address. So what a cool opportunity, and hopefully the folks back home are doing all right after last night and this morning's ice adventures, might be the friendliest way to call it. Stay tuned, one more segment to come here on RFD Today. Let's check livestock markets on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Illinois direct hog market was $1 lower, $27 to $36 a hundredweight for fat hogs. Sow market was mostly steady, $20 to $28 for lightweights, $26 to $36 for heavyweights. And heavy boars with the top of 8. Packer day yesterday at Fairview Sale Barn. Choice 2 to 4 steers and heifers topped 127.50. Some high-yielding steers hit 130. High-yielding heifers at 129.50. Mixed select and choice had a 119 to 124 range on the steers. Slaughter cows and premium whites as high as 109, and some average yields $70 to $79 a hundredweight. Young cows returning to the farm, some fancy ones as high as 111. DeLoss Yankee, RFD Radio Network.
How do people benefit from raising livestock here in Illinois? Rich Giebert, Illinois farmer, president of the Illinois Farm Bureau.
Well, growing up on a livestock farm was always interesting, and I enjoy it more today than I did back then. But it did give me the opportunity to have a good work ethic, learn to get up in the morning. And that was difficult during my senior days at high school and college days. I had a tendency not to go to bed at a respectable hour. But no, it was always enjoyable on the farm and getting up before daybreak and milking the cows and getting the chores done and then go about the rest of the day's business.
Illinois Farm Bureau, along with beef, corn, milk, pork, and soybean associations, make up the Livestock Development Group, supporting the Illinois livestock sector. For more information, check out illinoislivestock.org.
Joining us in studio, the next generation of agriculture. Ladies first, Sophia Horton, Illinois State FFA President, a little bit more than halfway through your term from Champaign County, a Fisher Bunny. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you.
That's right. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we're going to say this, and people may think I messed this up, but Professional Agriculture Student Organization, Second Vice President Alex Walden from Shelby County, and a sophomore at Kaskaskia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And Seth Mitchell from Richland County, from Olney area, as a freshman at Lakeland. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here. How are you doing?
Good. So what's with this new name? When did that happen?
Well, National had changed it last March. We had went through a name change. They had decided that we were more than post-secondary students. We were professional students, and Illinois as an association just adopted it probably last month.
So it's a new name, new for everybody, but
yeah.
But I get it. But you guys just say PAS for short anyway?
That's what we usually say.
Gotcha. I mentioned Kaskaskia. I didn't say Blue Devil or anything. I just said dairy judging, and I was right.
Yes, yeah.
So did you grow up on a dairy farm?
Small dairy farm in southeastern Shelby County.
Okay. And what interested you about judging? Did you do it in 4-H? Did you do an FFA and all that?
I won our state FFA contest, both individually and as a team, represented Illinois at nationals, and then also through 4-H, represented Illinois at the national 4-H contest at the World Dairy Expo.
Okay. They're not just letting anyone judge dairy at Kaskaskia, so I figured you had some kind of credentials.
It's fairly competitive.
Yeah. And as a sophomore, you're in it now, right?
Yes.
Excellent. And how's it going?
We've done pretty well. We have won 2 of our contests and then placed 5th at the international contest.
Good. Aaron Heinzman.
Yes, he's our coach.
Very nice. And then, Seth, for you, what was it about Lakeland that attracted you?
So I'm originally from Olney, Illinois, and we do have a local community college, but I chose to go out of district to Lakeland. I was really drawn there by their very strong agriculture program. I was able to get some of my agriculture classes out of the way as I go ahead and transfer to the University of Illinois, but also get involved in several extracurricular activities such as the Professional Ag Student Organization and the Collegiate Farm Bureau.
Gotcha. Sophia, you're not going to school. That's a perk, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But FFA state officers don't go to college during their year of service.
That's correct. We take the entire year off of school to serve Illinois FFA members.
Did you have plans before, and have they changed at all, or are you still just...
I actually have the same plan as before I was elected state office, so I had planned on going to the University of Illinois to study agricultural education, and that's still my plan for fall of 2019.
So all these chapter visits that you've done have galvanized your mindset then. They haven't scared you off yet going to chapter visits and meeting members all over the state.
Absolutely not. My favorite time of the year is being with students during those chapter visits, so it's almost more solidified my decision that I want to be an agriculture teacher someday.
Good. I can tell you where a dairy is probably just west of where you live, but a whole lot of corn and soybeans in northwest Champaign County, so you've probably seen a whole bunch of variety in recent months.
Well, I was all over the state, so I have been clear down by St. Louis all the way up to the Wisconsin border in Pearl City. And in Pearl City that week, I got to have my first ever dairy experience where I got to milk my first cow, feed my first bottle calf. And it's been a great learning experience for the agricultural industry in general to travel around the state and see so many different aspects of agriculture that are offered within Illinois.
Did you get kicked?
I did not.
Good. Very good. Good deal. All right, for those that, FFA, you see the Blue Jackets, those guys are. You may see PAS members, all dressed up wearing suits, but not necessarily know what they've done. So what are a couple of things that you guys do as an association? Or as an organization, I guess is the right term.
We focus mainly on professional development. So we work more with, it's basically a continuation of FFA, but in college. So we do a lot of the same contests like public speaking, ag sales, different livestock judging, and then we also have like mock interviews. But really we focus on taking FFA to the next level and working towards career success.
When do you guys have your state competitions? Is that coming up?
It is in November.
It just happened?
Yeah, so it just happened.
That's when they changed the name?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. What are a couple of things individually that you have each done in PAS?
So last spring, at the national conference, my team and I had competed in the dairy production CPA, which is just career program area, and we were named national champions, and all three of us took first, second, and third.
Wow.
So we were very happy with that, very excited, and it was actually, I think it was the 8th year in a row that a team from Illinois has won that competition.
Seth, how about you?
So I actually am a very recently new member in PAS, becoming into Lakeland my freshman year. And so I saw the opportunity to get involved with some of the contests, including the swine production contest. I've been raising show pigs for the past 11 years, and so I saw that as a test that I could take and have some knowledge in, and then be proficient in order to be successful with that. I was actually the third place individual in that contest at the state level, and then I also competed in the collegiate Farm Bureau discussion meet at the PAS conference, coming in from some experience with the young leaders prior to that.
Gotcha. One last question for you, Sophia. 5 female state officers.
That's correct.
How's that working for you?
Oh, it's amazing. It's such an opportunity.
Okay. Who's your least favorite? Who's the one that really... Is it Taylor? Is she the hardest one to...
No, that's an impossible to answer the question. All right. We're all the best of friends.
Okay, all right. I just figured I'd try. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Illinois PAS students and also state FFA officers were at Illinois Farm Bureau a couple weeks ago learning about some of the inner workings here in the building. I'm DeLoss Yankee saying watch your ends. Part of the show tomorrow will come from Decatur, Illinois Society of Professional Farm Managers, and Rural Appraiser.
More farm news and information ahead. Stay tuned for more RFD Today here on the Illinois Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Farm Week and Partners Magazine editor Chris Anderson connects rural routes for you. Chris shares her 4 decades of writing expertise by making sure each edition delivers the best information. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I was raised on a farm in Champaign County growing corn, soybeans, popcorn, pumpkins, and poultry. My top priority is to inform, educate, and even entertain Farm Bureau members.
Be it routes or roots. RFD Radio, Farm Week.